In this video, I want to show you some for loop techniques. So we're going to do this in a new script. So I click the new script button, and here's a file. I'm going to start off by saving it. Here's the first comment. I'm going to call it demo for loop.m. So I'm just going to copy that, and then I'm going to save it as demo for loop.m, and I'll just position that there so you can see it. And there's the file. And let me tell you how a for loop works. So if you're new to MATLAB and if you've never used one of these before, the syntax is like this. You type for, and then some index. So my variable is idx here. And we're going to say for index equals index vals and end. So what's happening here is this is an array of values. The loop here will execute commands. And I just put here in text that we're putting here commands that are going to run for each element of index vals. So the way this loop works is that it iterates for each element of index vals, and in each iteration, idx takes the value of an element of index vals. Now, I have to point out that index vals must be an array of integers. And so let's just see how that works. I'm going to get rid of some of this, and we're going to say, we're going to let index vals be 1 through 10. That's a very simple set of values. So we'll make MATLAB type the value of index vals. So we'll say disp, and we're going to give it a string. And the first part of the string is idx equals, and then we're going to use the num2string command to append the string version of idx. And then I'm going to save this, and we're going to run it. And you see here that when we execute this command, the loop executes 10 times, and each time it displays a different value of idx. The index values need not be a contiguous set of integers. We could perhaps skip the even numbers by using an interval of 2. Let's see what happens there. I'll save it and then run. And notice we skipped the even values. Well, it starts with 1, increments it by 2, and by the time we get to 9, and then we increment by 2, we get 11. It's outside of the range, so it doesn't execute a loop for the value of 10. Index vals need not be ordered, so I could give it a set of values. I'll save that and let's run it. And you see there's the order that I specified. Now, in certain times, we want to work with non-integer numbers. So the best way to do that is to make sure you use an integer index. But let's do it like this. Let's say t equals linspace 0, 1, and 12 points. And then we're going to say the for loop should go from 1 to the length of t. And then we're going to add to this loop, and we're going to say idx equals, okay, so it's going to tell us the index, and then we're going to add a semicolon, and then we're going to say t of idx equals, and we'll put num2 str, and we're going to feed that t of idx. So you want your index to be meaningful. So in fact, what I usually like to do is I usually like to make sure I know that, hey, this is a t index, or maybe t is for time, so it's a t index, and it becomes nice and clear in my loop that, hey, I'm working with a time index here. And so I'm just going to put that in front here, and I'm going to save it, I'm going to run it. And now you see, okay, it's iterating over these integers 1 to the length of t, but we're indexing the certain values of t. So here we are. For, say, the fourth index, t4 is a non-integer. So that's one way to work at non-integers, and that's quite helpful. So, you know, these for loops could be quite complex. It need not be one command, it could be several commands. And we'll stop there. Thanks for watching.